Okay. Hi, welcome to Algebra 2 in video form. We're going to continue talking about what we did yesterday with probability and permutations and combinations. So take out your packet that you started yesterday and turn to the page that looks like this at the top. It should have been where we ended with example 3 at the bottom. That looks like this. So try to follow along. Whenever you need to pause the video or take notes, you can do that. And we're going to start by just reviewing what a permutation is. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about permutations. And permutations are, if we think of how many different ways we can put a first place, second place, and third place, how many different ways we can organize those winners. So our formula, which we have here, we're going to apply that to example 3. And for permutations, I would make a big note of this off to the side. Whatever things we're working with, the order does matter. So if you're putting people into a competition, if you have winners of a competition and you have the first 3 places, first, second, and third, does the order matter with who gets first place, who gets second, and who gets third, or are we just concerned about the top 3 people? Well, if it's a competition, it definitely matters. Order matters because the first place person is better than the third place person. So, if we are looking at this example 3, and we want to find how many different ways can 2 students be assigned to 5 tutors if only 1 student is assigned to each tutor? So only 1 student can be assigned. There are 2 students and there are 5 tutors. So that means we're finding the permutations of 5 things. Those are our tutors, taken 2 at a time. Those are our students. And we write that as 5 choose 2. We've got 5 total, and we're choosing 2 things to arrange. So let's look at, let's say we've got our 5 tutors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. And we only have 2 students, so we only need 2 tutors. So if we look at this first spot, there are 5 different options for tutors that we could choose from. If we go to the next slot, we already used one of them, so there are only 4 options left for this. Okay, so we don't really care about the rest of it because we only need 2 tutors. So 5 times 4 equals 20. There are 20 different ways that 2 students can be assigned to 5 tutors. Now another way to look at that is to use this formula and think about n choose r. So our n value in this formula, NPR, our n is the tutors and r is our students. So if we look at our formula, the number of tutors we have, n, is going to be 5, and we just want to choose 2 of them for our 2 students. So if we plug that in to our formula, we've got that n prime, so our n value is 5, 5 prime goes over n minus r prime. So n minus r is 5 minus 2. That's 3 prime. I don't need this parentheses. So that equals, and you can type that in on your calculator, or, well, let's try that first. So on your calculator, you're going to type the button that says 5, and then go to math, then probability, then your little factorial exclamation point, and divide that by 3 prime, and you should get 20. Now another way to figure this out is just to put 5p2 right into your calculator, and if you did that, you would type in the number 5, and then math, then probability, then NPR, and then you would put the number 2, and then you'd press equal. And you should get 20 every time. So there are a few different ways that you can do that. Okay, so take a minute, make sure you have this written down, the different ways that you could have figured this out. And after you're good with that, you can move on to the next video.